This is the Family Playbook, the show about your role in the family at every age. Your hosts are Robbie and Terry, both 15 every week. They figure out what is fair and what is expected as you grow up.
Welcome back to the Family Playbook, the show about your role in the family at every age. I'm Terry.
And I'm Robbie, and today we're asking the big question, who has to do what around the house? And is any of it actually fair?
Spoiler, your parents will say yes, you will say no. We're here to find the truth somewhere in the middle.
Let's start young, like really young toddlers. 2 and 3-year-olds can actually do simple chores.
We're talking putting toys in a bin, wiping up a spill, not running a dishwasher, but still it counts.
Developmental psychologists say giving toddlers small tasks builds something called self-efficacy, which is basically just a fancy word for I can do stuff.
And kids who feel like they can do stuff grow up more confident, so your parents weren't being lazy, they were investing in you.
Sure, that's what they want us to think.
By ages 4 to 6, the chore list expands, feeding pets, setting the table, helping sort laundry.
Setting the table was my first chore. I put the fork on the wrong side for like 3 years. Nobody corrected me.
That's on them, honestly.
A study from the University of Minnesota found that the best predictor of success in young adults was whether they did chores as kids.
Not grades, not sports, not music lessons, chores. Starting as young as 3 or 4 years old.
So basically, every time you unload the dishwasher, you're becoming more successful. You're welcome, future you.
By ages 6 to 9, kids can make their beds, vacuum, help with groceries, and take out trash with some guidance.
Key phrase, with some guidance. Nobody is born knowing how to mop a floor correctly. That skill must be taught.
Which means parents have to actually show you, not just point at the mess and disappear.
Exactly. Chores are a two-way street. Kids learn by watching and doing, not by osmosis.
Around ages 10 to 12, hey, that's close. Kids can do full loads of laundry, cook simple meals, clean bathrooms.
I learned to cook eggs at 11, and I consider that my greatest achievement to this day.
I made pancakes from scratch at 10, and honestly, I peaked then.
Here's a wild stat. A survey by Braun Research found that about 82% of adults said they regularly had chores growing up.
But only about 28% said they required chores of their own kids. That is a massive drop.
So the generation that did chores decided their kids didn't have to? That feels like a plot twist.
Some researchers think it's because parents today are busier and it's faster to just do it themselves than teach a kid.
Which is understandable, but also kind of short-sighted if that Minnesota study is right.
For teenagers, us, the reasonable chore list gets pretty serious. Mowing lawns, cooking full dinners, deep cleaning, managing schedules.
At this age, you can basically run a household. You just usually don't have to, which is nice.
And honestly, teenagers who do more at home tend to have better time management skills in college. That's not nothing.
So what actually makes a chore distribution fair? Experts say it should scale with age, physical ability, and schedule.
A kid with 5 hours of homework shouldn't be doing the same load as a kid with 1 hour. Context matters.
And fair doesn't always mean equal. A 7-year-old and a 15-year-old have very different capacities.
Fairness is about contribution relative to ability, which honestly is a pretty good life lesson beyond just dishes.
One thing researchers agree on, kids should have some say in which chores they do. Autonomy increases follow-through.
Meaning if you pick your chore, you're more likely to actually do it. Shocking concept.
Parents who hold family meetings to assign chores report way less conflict than parents who just hand down assignments.
So if your house feels like a battlefield over who vacuums, maybe suggest a family meeting. You didn't hear it from us.
One more number. The average American household generates about 17 loads of laundry per week. Per week.
That is a mountain of socks. Someone has to deal with that mountain. Might as well be a team effort.
Bottom line, chores aren't punishment. They're practice. Practice for independence, responsibility, and functioning as a human adult.
And the earlier you start, the more natural it feels. Nobody wants to figure out how to pay bills and do laundry at the same time at 18.
Learn the laundry now. 18-year-old, you will be grateful.
So next time a parent hands you a chore, maybe instead of sighing dramatically, I say this to myself too. Think of it as building your future.
Or at minimum, think of it as your contribution to a household that feeds and shelters you. Either framing works.
That's the family playbook for this week. Thanks for listening and go do your chores.
We mean it. They're literally good for you. See you next week on the Family Playbook.